Okay, where are we and what we're doing? Well, we've picked up from where we left off yesterday. We're on an experimental server. We are in the far north in the new section, in a new and somewhat unfinished section. I'm the only one on the server. Cool beans. No worrying about people. And as I'm here, I'll do these again. The idea that I set up yesterday was... Oh, session lost. Bugger. Oh, that was only just joined the server, which means it's going to take... I'm going to end up having to sit and wait. Back in a second. Cool beans. Came straight back. Right. Now, as I was saying, it's even earlier in the day now. Where's my map? It's number 5. Oh, go on, number... Open my map. Vaguely suspicious why I'm carrying 2 of these around. Why did my map not open? That's weird. Experimental's being experimental again. Being odd for no good reason. Yeah, I'm up in the far north. What it is that I've noticed on experimental that the map that indicated a town up in the far north, let's think about this. In the northwest there was a town that was added a couple of patches ago, and it showed up on the map as being there, the little blocks of the houses. You look on the map now and it's those blocks of those houses aren't there. So I want to know whether or not they've taken that town away or whether this map is incorrect. Another thing I want to make sure of is that I've got to try and pick up a full face helmet. A few days ago I was punched in the face and knocked out and restrained, and yeah, it wasn't good. And although I don't normally like wearing a crash helmet, I went over to wearing a crash helmet because, hey, if you get punched in the face, you're less likely to have a problem. But I swapped to this military helmet, and someone's commented on Facebook, in the Facebook comics, told me that actually, no, you need the full face helmet if you want to be protected from the punch in the face. Zombie strike to the head, this will obviously help you, and, you know, pitchfork to the back of the head or whatever. But punch to the face, not so much. So once I find a full face helmet, we will be swapping back to that, on the grounds that if we run into Sarah again, she won't be able to punch me in the face, or if she does, it won't knock me out. At which point I can pull a gun on her and shoot her. Right, so I'm looking in particular for a site for my Mosin. Watched a really good video describing the features of the AKM. Looks like the AKM is going to be the de facto weapon in the game. You know, the best weapon, because it's extremely good close quarters because of its very rapid rate of fire. Takes SKS ammunition, so the ammunition should be relatively easy to come across. Magazines are hard to find. The AKMs themselves are hard to find. I've seen one, but it had no magazine, so I didn't bother picking it up, because at the time it would have meant dropping my SKS. And yeah, it's got a good scope. Again, hard to find. There's a drum magazine which holds over 70 rounds. It's only got full auto, there's no single shot on it, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be the weapon of choice. The M4 is going to become an extremely rare weapon, because that's only going to spawn on the helicopter crash sites, of which I have yet to see. I have not yet seen a helicopter crash site. You know, I've been tromping around these large open fields and not seen any. I'm hazarding a guess, the western side, Viborg, around there. There's some nice big open fields. That should see us with a few more. That might be more likely where the crash sites are going to be. You see these complex roads networks here? This is one of the places where I thought there was going to be, well, I know there's going to be a city of some kind or a new road layout, but yeah, this is the place. When I was first told there was a new city and it was going to be the biggest on the map, I thought it was going to be here, because this is going to be a very, very large town. It's already got a railway station, which we'll go and have a look at. But this area is still unfinished. It's got some bits and bobs in it. I don't know if there's been any more changes. We'll go and have a look. But you can see that this is going to be really, really big and impressive. We have places for like a lake or river. Maybe a canal, I don't know quite what it's going to be. No water, of course, not yet. We have this very large area that's is prepared, I presume, for buildings. Lots of roads. Very large open area. You can see all of those areas over there are going to have buildings. I'm sort of guessing this is going to be industrial. Have very big buildings here, because that's the type of ground they put under industrial buildings. We'll do a little bit of looting up here, see what we can find. It's not actually need much. I mean, I'm reasonably well kitted. There are a few bits and bobs. I want to play with these at night to see if they look the same as they did in Arma 2, because in Arma 2 flares are very impressive. I suppose before I do any further, these are somewhat vaguely obscene. I shall eat them. Go away by... Yeah, that's just funny. I think they could add a mechanic into the eating system where eating raw vegetables isn't necessarily a good idea. That they need to be cooked. For instance, potatoes. If you just ate a raw potato, it would make your stomach feel bad. You would get stomach ache. So, yeah, maybe they can work out on that somewhere along the lines. So we've got a nice little area here with a few bits and bobs. Ooh, police car. Police cars are normally fairly good for loot. And we've got a pair of wellies. Now, I've been in the server for a while. Will F5 work? Yes, it does. Yes, good, good, good. Right. Where were we? We came in... Hang on. Helps if I scroll the right way. We spawned in on a server here, just by that big pit. We've come to here where the railway line is. Our intention, or my intention, is after we've been through here, is to come, I think it was here. There used to be a town here. Whether it's just a case of a regression on the map has I can't believe they've taken away a town. It was there. Nicely detailed, nicely stretched out linear village. Nicely linear stretched out village. Had a little bit industrial, a little bit agricultural, some nice houses spotted around. But the map used to show the little boxes of what was there, and they don't anymore. I'm not sure why. So I'm assuming, that that's maybe a glitch of some kind. Now, do we have anything interesting here? We have a potato. Pair of tracky bottoms. Can of drink. And the funniest signs in the game. Oh yes. Someone has a sense of humour. Now, railway carriages are normally pretty good for loot. Found a pair of binoculars in one once. See, what's that? They are a pain in the bum to get in and out of. Oh, tin of fish. Tinned fish. Pair of boots at that end. Oh, come on. So a pickaxe and some hunter pants and oh, come on, let me in. Thank you. A sickle. Bugger all. And what are you? Ooh, shotgun shells. I'll have you. And an SKS. Ooh. Now I'm going to stick with my Mosin. To be honest, I don't do a lot of fighting. 4, thank you. Now isn't it strange? Compass. The first compass I found, the compass I'm carrying, I found in roughly this situation. In other words, on a train. Do you think that's a thing now? Compasses spawn on trains? Right, I'll do all of that in a second. Pair of jeans. Are you going to let me up? Oh, come on. Thank you. That hat. Bump. Rounds for the SKS. Oh. Now there's a thing. Should I go to the SKS? Should really, shouldn't I? Now I've got rounds for the SKS. Mosin or SKS? There's a thing. Now I've got to remember which one of these was in. Was it this one? Hang on. Yes, it was. Wait. Thank you. Those are SKS rounds, aren't they? Yes, they are. They're the ones with the bear. So, swap that over. Empty that. Load. That goes there. That goes there. What am I carrying? Yeah. Now, let's make sure whoever lands here might as well have some more ammo. Did I not only have one of those? Hang on. Why am I carrying that there? That's silly. Sometimes when you come into the server, things get moved around a little bit. Let's keep those up where I can find them quickly. So, little bit of inventory Tetris. Got to find a water source to fill that up. Might as well eat that whilst I'm here. Where did you just go? Oh, there you went. So, yeah, whoever comes along can find themselves a painted Mosin with some bullets and some more bullets and a muzzle brake, and I will have my pristine SKS, because to be honest I probably do better with a weapon that has an auto-repeating function to it than I will with the Mosin and its bolt actionness. So there we go. Hopefully that makes sense. Ah, and there's a helmet. This is red though. What condition? And you're not in good condition, so I don't think I'll bother with you. Personally, you know, it's both bright red and in poor condition, so that's a no-no. Wait, let me up. Thank you. A bolt. Bugger all. Can I get in this way? Step over? The step over doesn't seem to want to step over quite as well as you'd like. The step over used to be a sort of cure-all for any kind of glitch involving you being locked into a position. Quickly check. Yep, I'm still the only person on the server. That's cool. Yeah, if ever you got hooked up somewhere, you would just keep stepping over and you would eventually release yourself from whatever thing you'd got yourself hooked up on. It would get you out of a building. If you occasionally you would spawn inside a building. There was that bug where you'd spawn in Novi in the mod. You know, instead of spawning where you know on the beach, you would spawn in Novi actually inside a building, which was never good. Now you ask why I once found a pair of binoculars. In fact, the only binoculars I've ever found in the game, I found in a railway car. So I tend to... What are you? Oh, it's a rotten potato. So yes, I tend to look in these because they're pretty good loot spots. Rotten tomato. Right, that's that little lot done, and off we go. Not much more to see along here for a little while. We can... Hang on, was that a building out there? Oh, it's just a barn. We can see... Was that a zombie? What am I seeing there? Oh, it's just a shadow. God, doing my head in. Sorry. Yes, as I was saying, we can see there is going to be a very sizable town here. We have complex road network. We have features which, frankly, quite unusual. And we have textures on the ground that sort of tell us that there's going to be... that this is going to be a sizable town, basically. So I'll trot on, see what we can find, and keep going, and keep heading west. Because to be honest, the western side of the map is the part of the map I like the most. The west and the north, but yeah, generally in the west. Catch up with you in a bit. So I just came up this track, basically because I've not been here before. We have a tree in the middle of the road, which is unusual, gives an indication of the unfinished nature. But I just noticed something. We've got one of these, I don't know what you'd call it. Is it it's a feeder for deer, I think. You know, you'd put hay here and animal feed there. So I think it's a feeder for deer. I'm not entirely sure. To be honest, we don't have these in our country, my country, so I've not. But I did notice something. It has loot in it. Granted, that's not very nice loot, but it tells you something. These buildings now spawn loot, and that, to my knowledge, is the first time I've ever seen loot in one of these buildings. One of these, I don't know, deer feeders, you'd call it. Is it a deer feeder? I think so. So one of these little deer feeders now spawns loot, or at least this one does. The way I think the game works. By the way, that's the valley we were walking in earlier. The way the game works, as far as I'm aware, is that a building type, what happens to one building type happens to all of that building type throughout the map. So if you say, you know, you've got a list, you've got this building A, spawn has this percentage chance of spawning something, and it's of this group of things that it could possibly spawn. And then you just apply that to every single one of them on the entire map. That's how I think it works. Makes sense if it does work that way. So we can now say that those deer feeding huts, I don't know what name we're going to call them, or a feeding hut, now spawns loot, which is interesting to know. So the thing about experimental, you've got to explore. You can't just say, well, those buildings don't spawn anything. You've got to check at least once or twice to actually make sure that they don't spawn something, because it's so easy for the developers to change something. So you know, it's one of the things you've got to do with experimental, is you've got to keep on going. You know, I was chuntering on about the apple trees, looking at the apple trees, saying you should be able to eat apples from them. Well, you can now. Also, with the berries, it tells you. It comes up on the middle of your screen. Look for berries or hunt for berries or whatever. See, there's more tracks and things. So, if I can show you that, I don't actually see any berry trees around here, berry bushes around here at the moment, and there's sure as heck not going to be any apple trees. But when you go up to the bush, it'll actually give you the option to search for berries. And it says, because they used to be a bit hit and miss before, now it actually pops up in front of you. And you get it when you get to an apple tree. Not the pear trees, though, unfortunately, but the pear trees are very rare. Don't see many pear trees in the game. And I don't see any. Is that a berry bush? Nope. Don't see any berry bushes around here, so I can't show you the gathering of food in that regard. Anyway, catch up with you when I get to those buildings. You know, I was talking about server performance before. Before I started recording, I was getting 75 frames per second at that point. Pretty good. Drops off while I record, of course. And that's pretty much solely down to the fact I'm on the server on my own. But this game is capable of good performance if all the other conditions are right. Odd texture on the ground over there. Back in a sec. So we've come up to our first little bit of life along here. I'm keeping my eyes peeled on these really large fields in the hope that you know, I'm going to be able to see a helicopter crash. View distance in Dayz is a long way out. I think it's a little too far out, to be honest. Yeah, I think the view distance is a little bit long way out. I've eaten most of my food, by the way. Ooh, a little school bag. And another rucksack. What have we got? Yep, spray paint. Do you know, I don't think you can actually paint. Can you paint? Oh, you can. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know you could paint the SKS. Another little satchel. And a pair of shoes. And a ruined helmet. I'll not bother with a ruined helmet. Oops, cool. And we chunter along to here. What have we got? What have we got? Have we got another backpack? And a shovel? Nothing over here. Let's nip up and see what we can find. Go all Gordon Freeman on them, can't we? And yet another backpack. Gosh, there's a lot of backpacks here, aren't there? Wait, let me past. Thank you. And another backpack. You can't find backpacks anywhere on the map. It's because they're all blooming here. There's some rounds for a weapon I dropped. Step over. Thank you. Yeah, so you can't find a backpack anywhere on the map. That's because they're all up here in the north in these two bloody buildings. That is a lot of backpacks. But again, following the rules of the what I was saying earlier, if these blue doored tinge, I don't know what you call them, a barn, machine barn, whatever. If there's an X chance of a backpack, maybe they're doing that all over the map. Just elsewhere they're picked up. I don't know. That's an unusually high occurrence of backpacks. Backpacks are supposed to be quite rare things. Nice big open fields. At least we should be able to see a helicopter crash. I don't know whether or not helicopter crashes have the great plumes of smoke that you used to get with the mod. To be honest, I don't know anything about them beyond the fact that that's the only point now where you can get an M4. Is at a helicopter crash site. I don't know if there are zombies. As there don't tend to be zombies up in this northern quarter. I'm not sure whether or not we'll get that type of thing happen up here. It's hard to tell. We don't get zombies in the north, the very far north. Novo didn't have zombies. I'm not quite sure why there's a limit to where the zombies are, but there is. We don't have zombies in the very far north at the moment. Give it time. I'm sure they'll have zombies here eventually. So we're just going to come up and have a look at this this quite rich area for generalised loot. Give you an idea of where it is. I'll just pop my map open. Hang on. So if I have a look at the map, wait, stop moving around. It's here. So we're just in these woods, and we can see the red barn, and there's quite a lot here. I think this is again going to be quite a large area. And to give you a little zoom out, there's the airfield. So pretty much directly north of the hangars, Devil's Castle over here. We've got the two-storey military here. Most people refer to that as the jail, but yes, it's just here. And that's where we are at the moment. Nice place to pick up loot without the hassle of zombies. And it's only about 2 kilometres. Is that 2 kilometres? How far is that? Big square, so that's 1 kilometre. So we're going to go 1, 2, about 3 kilometres. 2.5 to 3 kilometres north of the airfield. We have this large open area, you know, big fields, and a fair amount of loot. And still I'm the only person on the server. You don't have to worry about being shot or punched in the face. So, let's have a little look in this big red barn. Just me, or is it missing more of its bits? Have a quick little look inside. Don't see much. There's a bit of food, but I've got a full stomach and I'm still carrying some food. Hacksaw, crowbar, compass. There we go, there's a compass. What's the state of this compass? What's the state of my compass? This is damaged. Mine is damaged. I should have done that with that other compass I saw. Check condition. Because I'm not sure whether or not a damaged compass does you any favours. So let's go around to the stairs. You see, well, this is a nice rich area, you see. big long run of garages back there. So up we go. See if we can find anything on the top. It's normally worth coming up here to check any of these large red barns. Now, that said, I'm not seeing anything at the moment. That's a little disappointing. There's normally more up here. Maybe it's because there was more downstairs. Bit of rotten fruit. Yes, that's unusual. Now let's see if these two tin sheds are going to have quite as many bags. Burlap sack and a builder's hard hat, pair of gloves. We can pretty much guarantee there's no one's been here and looted because, quite simply, I'm the only person on the server and the server restarted a little while ago. So, splitting axe. The distribution of loot is different. Less bags. I don't, you know, that my knowledge of the game is based almost entirely on my experience of playing it, plus little bits and bobs we can glean from other players by going to Reddit. I do have the advantage in some regards that I know a couple of the developers and I was involved in the pre-alpha, but I don't know what happens with the code. You know, I don't have access to that. And another bag. Sorry, just getting some stuff turned up in the post. The wife was showing it to me, which is good. You know, our tax disc sorted out. Cool, I'll get that done after I finish recording this. And there we go. So, yeah. Let's go do the garages, and then we can do the cow sheds. Looty looty. Now I can't remember what scope. I think it's the PU that goes on the SKS. Still not seen much in the way of scopes. They've been very, very scarce, haven't they? Very scarce indeed. There was a time when you would pretty much guarantee... Ooh, rocket aviators. Pretty much guarantee that with the number of garages that I have searched by now, we would have come across at least one or two PU scopes. So, whether we can say categorically that PU scopes are no longer spawn in garages, or whether it's just the rate is so incredibly low now that you see, hang on, Atlas bipod. Does the Atlas bipod? It doesn't. I'm confused. Very confused. I thought that, actually, let's keep it anyway. I'm sure the Mosin, because I tried fitting one to a Mosin and it wouldn't go. The bipod. I suppose that would protect my face, wouldn't it? And I don't know. I tried to put one of those onto a Mosin and it wouldn't go. And I've just tried to put one on an SKS and I thought they fitted on SKSs. But I'll be honest, I've not used the SKS quite as much as the Mosin. State of my trousers in. Pristine. Damaged. Solves that problem. I do like it. I'm looking at the floor and I've just noticed I'm getting like 160 frames per second. Yay! Yeah, it's like when you look at the sky. I go outside, 50. Yeah. 150, 160. Yeah. Doesn't mean a thing looking at the sky, does it? So, what have we got? More payday masks. Hacksaw, which I don't need. Coat. Another coat. What have we got up here? We've got some items up here. We have another backpack and a pair of wellies and a hat and a pair of trousers. Still not found. I don't know. This is just general gameplay. I'm not quite sure what if I'm looking for anything in particular anymore, or just slating my desire to look for things. Because this is what often happens. I'm sure there's an obsessive nature in the game that makes me want to look for things. Oh, it's one of those hats. Police cap. Now is that... Okay, stone into hands. Can I not put stone into... Hang on. Why could I not put stone? So I've put it down. Ah, 5 pristine stones. Can't put it in my backpack. Why can't I put it in my backpack? Is it too big? Is 5 stones too large? Let's try and... Oh gosh, no, that's not going to work. Trying to get as much space as I can. That's a big slot. I've not seen anything. No. Right, smooth fragments of rock commonly used for constructing fireplace or throwing into a window. 5 remaining. Is it with this and this that I make? No, that just put them down. Oh. There's a way of making fires and I don't know what it is. Bandage. View contents. Bandage. Wait. Oh. Craft fireplace. Craft fireplace kit from wood sticks and swap bandage. Okay, I have a pristine fireplace. Not quite sure what the rocks are for though. And now there's only one rock. Fireplace is large. Right, there's my fireplace. Take fireplace kit. Can't take the stones. I don't know. I'm not sure what the stone is for. Let's go get some wood, because I might as well do this. Just noticed my rifle's in the wrong place. Right, I've got my axe. Here's a tree. Chop firewood. Do I have firewood? No, I don't. Chop firewood. Oh! Good grief. I've taken the tree down. Ha ha! Do I have... And I have firewood. Cool beans. Right, okay, let's go back. Hadn't anticipated the whole bloody tree coming down. I hope I got some matches. So, fireplace kit, and the kit has slots. Oh, right, yes, that makes sense. Put those into my hands, maybe. Ignite fire. Match went out because of the wind. That you don't want to happen to. Match went out because of the wind. I'm in a bloody building! Okay. Right. Ah, hang on. Take stone into hands. No. And then put down? No, that didn't work. Have I got to put the... I think the stone is used, but I don't know what... What happened to the stone? Right, the stone is there. Bomb? No, no, you don't do it that way. Put that into my hands. Oi! You were in my hands before. Take stone into hands. So I have my stone in my hand. Detach firewood is the only thing that comes up. I've got the stone in my hand because I'm sort of expecting to try and put the stone around the fireplace. Therefore, the wind thing. Or have I done this in the wrong order? Oh, hang on. No. Bomb, bomb. Bomb. No, no, no. And I get no scroll coming up, so there's nothing I can do with the stone. I am confused. I am genuinely confused. Because I can put that in there and make a fireplace. I've got matches. And I've got a stone, and I'm expecting I should try and put the stone around the fireplace, maybe. I would love to be able to work this out myself rather than just going to Google and, like, Dayz building fires. I would like to know how to do it. So, take stones. Ah, you have split the stone. Okay. I have 2 stones there. No. Take stones. Ah! Aha! Add stone. So, take stone. Add stone. I don't know what I'm doing there, but it doesn't look any different, does it? Do I need to do this with all the stone? Take stone. Add stone. Drop. Right. Add stone. And then put matches into hand. Ignite. When... Oh, match went out because of wind. So... Take stone. This is like logistical nightmare. Take stone. Take stone. So there's now 1 stone, 1 on 1 in my hand. So let's drop that. Let's pick that up. Ignite. Match went out because of the wind. There is something, I am missing something. I really am missing something. I don't know quite what it is. Can't do that. I can add firewood. Match went out because of the wind. I am missing something. I am missing something of how this is supposed to work. Fortunately, I have loads of matches. Isn't this odd? I'm in a building, so it's not environmental wind. I am missing an element to the recipe, and I don't know what it is. I always thought it was stones, and it was stones that you used. And there's 2 wood, 2 stones. I've still got space, but that would be, I suppose, for the cooking, the things you're going to cook. What else could I put on there? I don't know. I hate this when this does this. You can't, with some items you can scroll when you're holding it, and other items you can't. Right, bandage can go there. Is it gonna... oh, hang on. Yeah. No, I'm still getting this message that says the match is going out. And I don't understand what is going on. I really do not know. Can I pick that up? No, I can't. Use? Inspect. I don't want to use or inspect. No, that's not quite what I wanted to do. I don't need any... I think... no, I don't need that, I don't need that, I don't... yeah, I am confused. I cannot figure out... you see, I can take the kit. 4. Gosh, that's a lot. But there is a part of the recipe I am missing that I do not understand. Oh well. Maybe I'm going to have to do some research. In other words, Google it. Or more to the point, go and have a look on the YouTube and watch somebody else making a fire. But I would really much prefer to try and figure that type of stuff out for myself. You can't just Google everything. I mean, there's no I don't know. I think you're missing something if you just Google everything. But I think there's some kind of mechanism I was missing. I'm sure people will shout at me in the comments about how to make fires. You're an idiot, you should have done this or you should have done that. Well, I'm sure I am an idiot, I couldn't figure it out. Still no helicopter crashes. Catch up with you in a second. Here's the thing, I'm not sure about this, but I think there has been some elevation changes in this portion of the map. I don't remember all of these humps and bumps. The roads, yes, but not the humps and bumps. Getting ready for towns and things, I think. Now, why is my frame rate just dropped massively? Ah, that's because somebody else just came on the server. My frame rate just went from 50 to 30, went down to 20 for a second. We've got someone new came on the server. Yeah. Server performance is critical to game performance. I've just lost 20 frames per second because one other person came on the server. There's a thing for you. So yes, elevation changes. I don't remember these humps and bumps being here. And that road... yeah. That ridge there. I don't remember it being there before. Very odd. And yes, frame rate's recovered a little bit. Yes, it's coming back up. Mind you, if you look at that image, there's bugger all there. But yeah, I'm getting slight stutters and lag. I've had a blissful experience for the last 3/4 of an hour to an hour playing on a server completely on my own. You know, frame rate while not recording up in the 70s, while I'm up in these areas, and life generally being bloomin' marvellous. One person comes on the server and I lose 20 frames per second. It's not their fault, obviously. But one person comes on that, mind you, look at his ping. 122. Get off the bloody server, man. But, yeah. He's got no desync, but he's got a ping of 122. But there you go. It's probably someone from the United States. Most certainly. God, what time is it in the what time is it in the US at the moment? It's midday here in the UK. I wonder what time it is in America. Still no sign of any kind of helicopter crash. But again, it might be further south. I would imagine the big open fields in and around Viborg. But yeah, a few subtle changes. As I say, I don't remember those elevation changes before the last time I came through here. I've spent quite a lot of time in this far northern area. It's large, wide open valley. Much beyond those trees and hills, that side is the edge of the map. We are very close to the edge of the map. We've got the empty pond up ahead, I think. Railway line's just over there. That will be diving down south at some point to as we go forward. It'll be diving down south to like the terminus town. It's one where they've got the railway line that comes to an end, so there's a big station, shunting yards and things like that. This bit doesn't appear to have changed much. Still got that little compound over there. So, catch up with you in a minute. By the way, this is what I meant by the lake that isn't a lake. I'm pretty certain that's going to be a large pond. Interesting little bit over there. We've got fencing. You know, the type you get around a military base. That could be interesting. Lots of roads and things. Concrete slabs. Yeah, there's going to be something big here. Just don't know what. Don't know when. There's a little bit of Armco around the road. And then there's a compound over there with chain link fencing. Out here somewhere there is a water pump. It was originally out on its own. Now I don't know whether or not that lonely water pump, which was pretty much the only place to get water up here, is actually in the town we're headed for, or whether it really was out in the middle of bloody nowhere. I got a sneaking feeling it was out in the middle of bloody nowhere. Don't know if we'll be able to find it. But still no helicopter crashes. Is that a helicopter crash? No, it's a bush. Yes. Catch up with you in a sec. Well, I found it. One of the few water sources up here in the very far north. And I suppose this is where my confusion lies. A lot of my confusion about... It's very difficult to know precisely where you are. The lack of features up here make it very difficult to try and understand where you are. But this is good. I needed this because I've lost my hydrated status. So let's put that into my hands and fill bottle. So that's good. Drop that out of my hands. Do I need this? No, I don't. Let's dump that fireplace. Bloody thing. With its 5 rocks and... Yeah, that just confused me. Don't want to take the fireplace kit. What I want to do is drink. Ah, now that's strange. Sometimes you get this new animation when you drink. And sometimes you don't. So I can drinky in the way we used to. But the other ones, I've done it and you get this animation. So, where am I? Trying to get a lay of the land of these. We've got this. Right. We have a road heading, I think, into a valley with this road coming this way. Right. Oh gosh, how on earth are you going to make out from this little lot where I am? I have come quite a long way. I just don't know. There's a large mountainous hill there. Problem is you can't bloody see it because it's too far away. You see, there's a possibility that they've taken that village away and this is it. Or I'm just in completely the wrong place. Let's keep going along this valley. I'm sure I should have run into that village by now. And possibility that that pump is part of it and they've taken it away. Because it does look vaguely familiar. We do have quite a complex road network here. Oh well, we'll carry on and see what we can find. Okay, I do know where I am. And they have removed a bloody village. Here, there was a barn, one just over there, one here, I think, and or a building, and this field had, you know, the Swiss roll style straw bales, because over there is the crashed. And where I was drinking earlier, what the vista that should be in front of us is a town, going from roughly where my pointer is, there, all the way through to about there. It was only a village. There was oh, what was it? There was a sawmills, there was a farm, and a group of houses, and there was a nice little church. They'd put some trees in, and this whole area has gone back. How very odd. You sort of expect them to add things to the map. You don't expect them to take stuff away. I am confused. I'm very confused. That a whole village is missing. A whole load of trees, a whole load of detailed work has gone. And it was over here. Now I'm approaching it from this direction, and I know what's behind me, the coach crash. I have been here enough times to know that they've taken a village away. It was added, what, 2-3 patches ago? I've done videos on it. I've got videos about Newtown Northwest, I think I called the video. And you can see that it should be here. And it's gone. I did a couple of videos on it. One getting here and looking around, and another one actually thing. So if you search my archive for Newtown Northwest, you'll be able to see what's been removed. Don't know why they've taken that away. I'm quite surprised and shocked. I don't understand why have they taken a town or a village away from us. I do think that's a little odd, because it was beautifully done. It looked great. It was in the style of some of these newer villages, that they are a little more spread out, a little more elongated. Where the spacing between the houses looks a little more, to my mind, a little more naturalistic. Very odd that they've got rid of it. I am somewhat, well, I'm definitely taken aback. I'm somewhat confused that they've got rid of all that work. Someone put a lot of work into building that, you know, the map maker. Maybe it's a mistake, don't know. Maybe some kind of error crept in. I don't know. I'll have to, you know, I'll ask Brian, you know, what have you done with me bloody village? Why'd you take my village away? So, quick check up here to see if they have started putting loot on these. I don't think they have. No, no loot. That's a shame. Because there's the coach crash just over there. That's been there since the beginning. Go along to Terminal Town, or Terminus Village, or whatever you want to call it. It's where the railway line ends. It's the same railway line that runs 3/4 of the way around the map. Starts on the coast, south west. You know, runs off the edge of the map in the southwest. There, it goes all the way along the south coast, through all the major cities, all the way up the east coast, and then strikes inland from Sletva, whatever, going past the new town of Novo, and right across the top of the map, within a couple of kilometres of the top of the map, to its terminal. I'll show you on the map what I've just described here. So we're coming down this way to this terminal town, and starts off down here, runs all the way around up to Sletva, whatever, up, then down, and then down. So it goes right around the map. You can follow the railway line if you wish. I'll catch up with you in a minute. I'll try and figure out why they've got rid of a bit of map. So here we are approaching the railway line, or the end of the railway line. Have they made some changes here as well? I don't know. Got a little railway station here. Have they made changes? Don't think so. Or have they? I think they may have done. Not sure. This low sun angle. God, don't get any better. So we've got this railway station here, which we're going to have to do a little bit of looting on. Last time I was here there were no zombies, so we're going to hope that there are no zombies now. Can of beans. And we've got the office block. They have changed things. Yes, they have. Right, I can see it up there. There was a run of garages. There's now a run of the very big garages, the new buildings that have been added. So he's made some changes up here. I suppose I better do this one. I haven't been on one of these for a little while. A lot of people refer to this as the school. I've always said it's the office rather than the school. Don't know. I I think the rooms are too small to be school rooms. This has more the look of an office block to me. That's my own personal opinion. You would expect more desks. This is an office desk and office furniture lying around, rather than a school building. But you know, call it what you will. Up to the treasure room. Is there going to be any treasure in here? A pistol? What is it? Oh, it's my favourite. It's the engraved. I don't have a magazine for it, mind, but inspect. Yeah, isn't that pretty? Skull and engravings, and it goes off the bloody screen because they got it rotating from the wrong point. What if we find there's a bit of an error, or was an error in the last one, that the magazines went in wrong, but they still worked. Just the animation was wrong. I have some ammo for it somewhere. I've got 9mm ammo. Yeah, I've got lots of ammunition for it, but I don't have a magazine for it, so that might be a little harder. But there's lots of military in this area. If I go south of here. Ooh, is that a weapon flashlight? What condition are you in? Where did you go, more to the point? Oh, it's pristine. Thank God for that. I've actually got another light source. That's good. Can't attach it to my rifle, of course, but I will be able to use it as a hand torch. Americans refer to as a flashlight. And look. Nice Mosin look. Ooh, there's now 3 of us on the server. I'm guessing that Matty is somewhere in Europe, given that low ping. Yeah, they've made some changes here. That was a run of single-story garages. It's now a run of 2-story ones. So let's get over to those garages and have a look. I'll not bother looking at the factory. So this side of the map has changed beyond robbing me of a perfectly good village. I do take it personal. But yeah, there was this area has been here, but it has been changed. There were buses don't spawn loot. There was a run of single-story garages here, and these ones have been replaced by the big bus garages, and they've been pieced together. Any other 2-story? So let's go in and have a little look about. I'll show you these. Well, we have a large garage, I suppose you'd call it. What are you? Oh, duct tape. Quite quack. 2 exits at the back, 2 little single doors, and then green. Now, will you go camo? No, you just go green. That's annoying. I first saw these up in Novo. But you can see why they've been done. They're big enough to actually take a whole bus. Not a great deal of loot in them, unless there's a lot of vehicles that spawn their own loot. And then there's lots of loot in them. The ones up in Novo are very loot rich. There's also another building which he hasn't put here, which I'm a little surprised at. Oh, you get loot on the top, on the roof, by the way, if you get onto the roof of these. There's one which they can tack onto these, which has an office, and you can go upstairs. So, do you know what? I think that's about time to wrap this one up. For whatever reason, I don't know why, they have removed... Let's find somewhere to despawn nicely. They've removed a village, or a whole town. A whole town has gone missing. They've made changes to this place, replacing the long run of single-story garages with a double run of the new two-story garages. And I think possibly there are some height changes to the map in the middle at the top, but I can't be certain of that. But they've definitely removed a town, or a whole village. As I say, I've been there a number of times. I made a couple of videos on the subject, and it was it was Newtown North West, I called them. And if we have a look on the map, and zoom in rather than zoom out, it would help, wouldn't it? There's that. Yeah, just here, from about here to about here, coming out to about here. So it was best part of a kilometre long, if you come to think about it. There was a barn up there. There was one of those funny little square, or not square, little one-room churches, or little chapel just there. Some bridges, and there's all sorts of woods and trees and farm here, and light industrial there, and it's gone, which I find mildly annoying. I don't know why they took stuff away rather than adding. Oh well, on that note, we will love you and leave you. I'll say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be making another one, playing some more, making a video and uploading it later. Hit the old subscribe button, comment, vote up, vote down, whatever, I don't care. There's if you look in the description, you'll discover there's all my social media links. Facebook, there's Twitter, and obviously the link to YouTube, and I don't know if it's actually in the description or in the captions at the end. You'll also find my Steam ID as well. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you lovely ladies and gentlemen later. Bye bye.